So a wildly popular game releases, see what I did there, and Boosteroid is once again one of the only platforms that can play it on the cloud. And of course, the queue goes wild. Alright, I'll stop. People have been outraged on Reddit, so if you're a new subscriber and if you're wondering what is happening, we'll talk about it here. Let's dive in. Boosteroid is again in another jam.
Same
on
jam.
Reddit here, we have people talking about how bad the queue is. Now, this is most likely due to the release of Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah. Game is good. Game is demanding.
Yeah.
Big reason to hit on the cloud.
And what I've seen is a lot of people in Europe have been complaining. Not necessarily here in the US. And,
No.
I was on yesterday. You were on yesterday too.
It was.
I didn't have any problems.
Right.
Not any problems at all. But these are crazy queues. These are crazy queues. It's very rare that anyone beats Counter-Strike, at least for a good long while.
Well, it's a good game. It's a multiplayer game, and it takes a lot of time to play. So
yeah,
all those together, a lot of concurrent players.
If you missed our interview with Vlad, our last interview, he has covered that they are literally doubling capacity, so there is no queue anymore. That's what they're hoping for.
Europe needs it the most. That's their home base. Yeah. That's where more people are playing in Europe than anywhere, and they're feeling it. That's when that crunch hits.
Now, the East Coast here was feeling it first, but we've been reinforced here in the East Coast, so we're generally okay. New York, Ohio, here on the East Coast, we hit Carolina. We also hit here in.
There's no server in Ohio either.
Pennsylvania, around that area, they've gotten reinforced. We got reinforced pretty well.
We're pretty in the middle, so we have
right in the middle of these servers. So we get reinforced pretty well. But here in Europe, I know the UK. The UK needs it really bad. They got one destination to cover all of the UK here. That is terrible. Now, there was one guy contacting me from Denmark here. Mm-hmm. So they must be hitting here in Germany.
Yep.
Somewhere around here. I wouldn't say they would be hitting here. But yeah, definitely Germany. Maybe they hit the UK. I don't know which is closer for them. I'm guessing Germany here. But yeah, if all of Eastern Europe is getting hit over here.
I mean, it just depends how dense those data nodes are,
Yeah. I mean, I wish people would say, hey, I'm at this point.
I want to know how big the queue is compared to what their server capacity is.
Yeah.
So, like, if there's 10,000 people playing and there's a 700 queue, that's way more reasonable than if there's 1,000 people playing in a 700 queue or 500 people playing in a 700 queue.
Well, also too, I'm wondering how many machines they have.
It's going to be really dependent on how fast that queue moves, is how many people are in there and leaving, and because we don't know the real numbers for Boosteroid at any given time.
Yeah, it's true.
Because the numbers are scary, but I'm more concerned with how much time it takes to get in than I am about how big that number is.
500 could mean
5 minutes, could be 5 hours. I want to know how long it is.
There was someone who was waiting who had 10 and waited over an hour. So, what does that mean? Since there's no limits, I think this is why GeForce Now has session limits, so they can guarantee a turnover.
That there's a turnover, yeah.
Yeah. People should have unlimited, but people should also know that there needs to be, you shouldn't abuse that.
Sure, but people are going to get theirs.
Yep.
If it's abusable, people will abuse it.
Right. I wish there was a happy medium for everyone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Boosteroid has confirmed that they are doubling up servers. Of course, in Sao Paulo, Brazil,
Poland,
Czech Republic, and in the US, we're getting one in Omaha here. So if you're in the West Coast, we're not getting one here in California. We need one in California. Omaha should help, but it's not going to be like going to California.
Yeah, I agree.
To your point, the guys that go with for the servers, they're not in California.
Right.
or anywhere over here. Omaha is the farthest they go. And here in Seattle, that's where they
Sure.
are. So I'm guessing they would have to do deals with someone else. I'm guessing Tier Point has a very good deal for Boosteroid. They'd have to make a deal with someone else here in California with a similar deal that they want or they have with Tier Point. I'm guessing that they're working on that. That's my guess.
But I mean, again, I don't think we're getting a lot of complaints in the U.S. about this at the moment. I'm just more concerned about South America and Europe for sure.
I really wish that everyone here in the Reddit would show us where they were located. The fact that no one's telling their location doesn't help a freaking thing. Another queue here, 756. Where are you?
So this is pretty much the worst we've had since Hogwarts, right?
Yeah, that was it. That was the one.
Oh yeah,
That was the one that
That was the
dominated
one that choked out
Boosteroid.
Boosteroid.
It was Hogwarts. That's right. That's right. You are dead on with that. So this guy plays in English. This guy's in Europe. I think it's UK. Timestamp. It's 2. That's the day, month, and then year. So that's how they do their timestamp. We do ours 3-2.
We do ours backwards.
Yeah, no, we're talking. We can't tell, but it's all in English. So it's got to be close to the UK or Germany or something.
So what do you think Boosteroid needs to do besides add more capacity? Because the customers
everybody
are
wants to
very
switch
angry.
servers. Everybody wants to switch servers, and I get a whole bunch of people saying yes, upvote, and that's gonna take our queue. So here's the thing: do you want either a queue and low latency, or do you want no wait, no queue, and high latency?
Right.
Which one do you want?
Yeah. It's a good question, and I mean, again, it'll be alleviated as they get these out, I hope. It's just, it's always a problem with gaming. It's always these crests and troughs where you get a bazillion people playing as soon as a game drops. You get that rush, and then it peters off, and you're like, well, why did I buy 20 more servers if I'm only using 2 of them after the rush? Well, it's because you need it for the rush. People are more mad about missing out on the rush than they are about anything else.
If you're paying for something, you should get it instantly.
Agreed.
But yeah, it's all English, so that just makes me.
Yeah, all the screenshots have been English so far.
Yeah, everything's been English. I haven't seen anything else anywhere else, and I know a lot of people play in different languages.
Sure, absolutely. There's a lot of languages out there.
A lot of languages out there, especially in Europe. Double capacity is coming.
I'm hoping they get it done quick.
So they have to spend literally hundreds of millions of dollars, as Vlad was saying, to get servers and install, and it takes time.
It does. But
hundreds of millions.
To echo the most common complaint I've heard is stop selling subscriptions if you can't
I agree.
meet the demand.
I agree.
But again, 95% of the time they can meet the demand. It's just when you hit these spikes.
These games, yeah. Now
Yeah.
I am continually working on this review for Boosteroid.
Still
Dude,
there.
I'm just about done. And here's the thing: now I'm gonna have to add this parts,
Yes.
to the review.
I know. It's if you can't. It's not an honest review if you don't mention the queues.
I was gonna launch it today, but then this hit, and I'm like, well, I've got to add this part because if I don't add this to the review, then it's like, oh, I bought something that they said they're gonna double up on. Can't do it.
Yeah. Well, at least they have a plan.
They do have a plan. So have you personally been getting really high queues? Let us know how much and where you are to see where the most problems lie. Hopefully Boosteroid can install these new servers as soon as they can to reduce the queue. In the meantime, if you like this cloud chat on Boosteroid, make sure to give us a like. Also make sure to join as a member of the channel or join our Patreon and our Discord in links below. And above all else, make sure to subscribe to keep it locked right here at the only place we can do battle in gaming heaven, Cloud Gaming Battle.